See, it wasn't about how great the guy was. It was about how bad he wanted it. It was always about how bad Dennis wanted it. And was he willing to what?
Hustle.
Willing to hustle. No excuses, willing to hustle, ride or die, I got your back. Can I share a story with you guys?
Yes.
Thank you. I didn't really know much about this growing up, but my first experience with this was when I was in 6th grade. 6th grade, first day of school, junior high, and I walk over, and I got one of my buddies with me, and this 8th grader, I didn't know who he was, he's just a lot bigger than me. And then he says, hey, come here. And I walk over to him, and he literally punches me in the chest as hard as he can. Knocks the wind out of me. I mean, I'm just like, and I'm literally like, and I literally walk away, and I'm walking away, and my buddy's like, you know, we're both skinny, scrawny 6th graders, so it's like, what are we going to do? You know, but I'm walking away, and I can't breathe. And I'm just like, what was that? This guy doesn't even know me. First day of school. And my brother, who was in 8th grade, same age as this kid, somebody went and told my brother. And my brother comes back, and he says, hey, did you get hit? And I said, yeah, this guy's nailed me. And he's like, who? And I'm like, gosh. First time I've ever shared this story. Pointed him out. And my brother, I'm watching him. He's like, my God. The guy's like twice as big as my brother. And my brother goes over, takes him, slams him into the wall, nails him once in the jaw, the dude drops. And everybody's like, what's going on? Haskins, settle down, what's going on? And my brother said some words. I shouldn't stay on stage. But he just, you know, he went psycho. He just like, this guy hit his kid brother. And everybody's freaking out because they didn't know what happened, and they thought my brother was going crazy. You know, my brother's just like, he hit my brother. And if any of you ever touch my brother again, I'm going to drop you just like him. What made me think of that story, the reason I shared that story with you, is because of Dennis. Made me think of Dennis, and when that guy was trying to, you know, get him to come with him and, you know, stab JR in the back, and Dennis slammed him against the wall. Made me think of that, because I'm just like, you know what that is? That's freaking ride or die. That's like, you know, we live in a world where like, oh yeah, I'm in if it's comfortable, but as soon as it becomes uncomfortable, I'm not in. And it's bullshit. Freaking be all in with the team. Because there's going to be hard days, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be bullshit that comes all of our way from different directions, and most of it outside of Mark in America, that tends to infiltrate what we're doing with Mark in America. But the conditioned mind is, am I going to buy it or I'm not going to buy it? And that's why we surround ourselves in the leadership team, just like this weekend. That's why the magic moment happens. Because it's ride or die. And this is leadership. This is looking at people as we lead the people to grow the organization. We're thinking to themselves, do they really believe? I mean, you really believe you can help me? And you're able to say, hit your wagon. Let's go. And if you're nervous about it again, and some of you may be nervous about it, but that's why you got all of us. You got a team. And me and my brother, team. One of the most loyal people you'll ever meet, my brother. You know, and my brother, I'm the negotiator. We're going to talk things out. He is the negotiator, and I'm just going to And either way, we're going to figure out the solution. But I'm always like, hey, how about we talk to this person first, Brett? You know, But I always know he had my back. As a matter of fact, Can I share another story?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So, when we were on Dream Team that year, we had I went by myself actually to do a seminar in the Northeast region, and it was in Boston. I called up my brother, and I said, hey, I'm doing a seminar in Boston, would love to have you come. And my brother was just like, yeah, where's it at? And I told him, it's in Boston here. He's just like, yeah, Kim and I'll come. And I'm like, great. Now, he's never seen the plan. This is like 2007. This is almost like 8 years into the business, never seen the plan. But when I said, I'd love to have you come, he was like, there, let's go. So he shows up to the seminar. I have him put him right in the front row. Him and his wife. My brother comes walking in. He was wearing a suit. I didn't know he owned a suit. He's got hair. He's got hair down to his ass, you know, and then like he's got this big beard. He looks like he's like ZZ Top, you know. And he's an elephant trainer for the Providence, Rhode Island Zoo. And he's done that for a long time. And then, so he does that, but he also plays in a band. And he lives in a van down by the river. There's a motivational speaker. Those of you that know about that skit, yeah. You've never seen that skit from Saturday Night Live with Chris Farley, motivational speaker, hilarious. Okay? But anyway, that sidebar, I don't have time to get into that one. So Brett's there, going through the seminar, and I share a story at the seminar. And I said, let me tell you about when I was doing the business. I'm doing the business, and I'm calling people up. Evaluate the business. I want you to check it out. It may or may not be right for you. You may know the right person. Sound familiar?
Yes.
Awesome. So I set 4 appointments with my brother's 4 best friends up at Northern Illinois University. And I'm still living in Bourbonnais. It's about a 2-hour drive northeast from where I live. And I get in my car and I start driving up there, and one by one, they all canceled. All 4 of them. They all canceled. And so then I turn around and I drive back home. And I share the story at the seminar. So we're out to dinner that night after the seminar. And there's about 30 of us all sitting around this huge table at an incredible Italian restaurant. And everyone at the table is a $1 million club member. Except for my brother and his wife. You know, to come to dinner. Well, Steve Harris looks at my brother and he says, hey, Brett, can I ask you a question? And Brett says, yeah. And he says, was that story that Colin shared about all 4 of your friends canceling, was that true? And my brother says, yeah, it's true. And he says, why did they cancel? And he says, because I told them all to cancel. I says, you can't do what my brother's doing.
Oh.
And Steve says, so you told him that they can't do what he's doing? He never even showed you the plan. And he says, that's right. And my brother says, but can I tell you why? And he says, yes. And he says, well, I'm going to college. I never really worked a serious job. I didn't have a car. You know, Colin's already got a car. He's already, anything Colin sets his mind to, he just makes it happen and this and that. Well, then I find out he's doing this business. Well, when I was in college, like a year before, in college, I started selling vacuum cleaners. And I went to the training. So I go to the training, I'm selling vacuums, I'm making more money than I've ever made. It's going awesome. So I call up my best friend Randy. I said, Randy, you got to come with me. You got to come with me on the point. I got to show you how amazing this is, selling these vacuum cleaners. Randy says, I don't want to sell vacuum cleaners. And my brother says, no, I make more money than I've ever made. I finally bought a car. You know, I'm like 21. It's kind of funny. So my brother bought a 1973 Mercury Monarch. You know, I think it was like an inch shorter than this room here. So they go to this person's house, and as they're there, they're doing the demonstration. Well, first of all, they walk into the house, and it's brand new house, brand new, on the Kankakee River, hardwood floors everywhere. And there's a throw rug in the family room underneath, you know, the center end table. And so what's my brother do? He's looking around, he's just like, oh, come on, over here. Goes to that little throw rug, and he does the demonstration. The guy, you know, does it. Hey, you know, do you want to buy it? The guy says, no. And Brett says, wait, there's more. And he does the next step of the presentation. The guy, you want to sign right here. The guy says, no, I don't want to buy it. He goes to the next step of the presentation. He says, you know, right here. And he's, you want to buy it? No. And then finally, it puts up a bowling ball. And then he picks up the bowling ball with the vacuum cleaner. And the guy finally goes, all right, I'll buy the damn thing. So the guy signs a contract, and he's buying his vacuum cleaner, $3,500 financed for the next 33 years at 89% interest rate. And they get out to the car, and my brother's like, Randy, wasn't that amazing? And Randy says, no. That was the worst thing I've ever seen. I can't believe Brett Haskins is a sellout. And you're selling something to somebody that they don't freaking need and charging them that crazy interest rate. You were more worried about making a sale of something rather than what the person actually needed. So no, I've never freaking sell a vacuum cleaner in my life, so I'm out. Yeah. And it wrecked my brother mentally that night. Wow. He literally went home, he thought about it, he tore up the contract. He had already called it in. He shows up to the vacuum place. They're like, I didn't sell it. They're like, no, you already called it in and sold. He goes, no, I didn't sell it. No, you said it was sold. You're going to eat that commission. Brett goes, keep it. I don't care. I'm out. I quit. So when Cullen starts in sales, what's my brother's definition of sales? That, because he had been to the training. This is what he was taught to do. You sell a vacuum or they call the police. That was the sales training. For me, where my mind went, because I didn't know about any of this, was how many more people have I talked to about our franchise that have had a similar experience, and yet I don't understand why they don't get it or they don't want to meet with me. Because they had one bad experience that wrecked them mentally, and they think that's what I'm going to ask them to do. You sell OPC, or they call the police. I mean, come on. That's a crazy action plan. Do you guys agree? Yeah. So it was pretty amazing that was the revelation that came from that. Steve Harris was like, oh my gosh. And my brother was saying things that I didn't know my brother knew. Like sharp. Sharp. And Brother Smith goes, yeah, by the way, how come you never showed me the plan? And I said, because I know you. And you are not a people person. You are an elephant man. Stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane, right? Melanie, you got something?
I do.
Okay.
I've never heard you tell that story, Colin. And I met your brother, so it's kind of special for me.
Yeah.
And I just want to bring it home to everybody because I've never had somebody stand up to me like that. And my big brother didn't want anything to do with me. And I know that there's people in the room that's where your brain went first too. You know what? I didn't have a Brett. How many of you didn't have a Brett?
Yeah, neither did I. But you can be somebody else's. You can be somebody else's Brett. There are so many people in North America that need you to step up and be that leader and be that Brett. Even if you didn't have one yourself, because there's plenty of examples, and we know what it takes. So I just wanted to say.
Thank you, Mary. That's awesome. And that truly is what this whole message is about here this weekend. Every piece of what we've built together here this weekend has all been about how can we support each other, how can we cheer each other on, how can we ride or die and make this thing happen. So how many of you are willing to turn things up a notch? And how many of you are willing to hustle? And how many of you are willing to go through any obstacle that gets in your path?